Intellectually petty radio on your stereo. Don't compare us to anything, this a different scenario. We break records while we pushing the culture forward. Great music and big vibes right in that order. Intellectually petty radio on the stereo. Don't compare us to anything, this a different scenario. We break records while we pushing the culture forward. Great music and big vibes right in that order.
Oh, my bad. You are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you in concert with A Beautiful Machine magazine, as well as the mighty Nerd Genius Radio Network. You already know I shouldn't have to go through this spiel every week, but I will because I love you. Every week, every minute, every hour, every year, we only rock with legends around here, and today is absolutely no exception. One of the most dynamic individuals since Adam and Eve. One of the most storytelling, wise, phenomenal creatures ever birthed in the history of birth since Noah's Ark. We have A.Paige in the building. How you doing, Queen?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's it. I'm so excited to have you. I'm sorry for the creak, but I'm sitting on a milk crate on top of a chair, and it makes a little noise sometimes.
No problem. No.
Yo, how's your life? How's your family?
My family is wonderful, but if you've been keeping up with my stories, you also know that they're a hot mess, and I love that. I love that for them. Not as much for me, but I love that for them.
Are they a hot mess, or are you just extra judgy?
Oh, please.
I'm just
They are.
saying. Your brother sounds like the man of the year.
Oh my God. I'm sure he would love to hear you say that. Exactly what
Okay, when was the first story time?
Oh my goodness. I think my first story time was actually on YouTube. And it's crazy that you asked that because just a few days ago, I posted a photo of me essentially in the studio that I had decided to start renting at the time. This was like, what, 4, maybe 5 years ago. And posted a story on YouTube called Freddie and Caesar. And it was about these brothers. It was a very made up story. It was an original story. And that's how I was going to start doing my story times, all of my original stories. So that was 5 years ago on YouTube. And that I graduated from there and went to TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and post all of my stories there now.
So you're walking down the street, it's you and your husband. Matter of fact, shout out to your husband. Let's go back to when did you meet your husband?
When I first started travel nursing in California, I've been travel nursing on and off in California for like the past 7 years.
Okay.
And when I first came to California, my first contract, a nurse that I was working with said, I want you to meet someone. He's my boyfriend's best friend. So at first I was like, I don't want to meet anybody. I'm just starting my travel nursing career. I don't need anybody falling in love, and I'm not trying to fall in love right now. So we were friends for quite some time.
You friend zoned them?
Yes. Well, we weren't really like looking.
See, that's when you know a woman friend zoned the motherfucker right there. When they start stuttering, you friend zoned them. See, and she got stuck. You see that? You see that? That is the Lord saying you friend zoned them. I said you friend zoned them.
No,
it's okay.
No. So I just felt like we both came into it not looking for anything.
Okay. What's wrong
And
with
I
that?
was okay with that.
It sounds beautiful.
Yes. We friend zoned one another.
Oh,
and
wow.
then we like stumbled upon it.
Wow, you're gonna blame. I don't. That's diabolical. You're gonna blame the man for being friend zoned? It's hurtful. I'm gonna cry a little bit. So,
No.
so at what point do you realize, okay, this is a really good dude, and I don't want to lose him?
I like being by myself. I enjoy my own company. And if I'm going to spend time with people, it's with people that have been in my life for a very long time or like my siblings, you know. And even then, everybody has like an expiration time. Like, okay, I need you to go. And I realized that with him, there was no expiration time. I was fine with being in his presence doing nothing, being in his presence doing something extravagant, something small.
Mhm.
And that's when I was like, I think we might have to keep him.
That's a that's a beautiful way to put it. Hilarious, but a beautiful way to put it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so
Thank you.
and you're a nurse. How long? I've been a nurse for over 30 years, and
Oh, wow.
what I talk to people most about is doing CPR, and
Oh,
the power behind that, coupled with the humility. Like, I'm sure you've been involved in the code. After the code is done and you're unwinding, what do you take home with you?
my very first code, I was working in the ER, was my very first job. And at first, I felt like I needed to be detached because I didn't want to be having.
Oh Lord, I'm not sure what happened. It just went blank and then it came
Can you?
back. I can
Oh,
kind
so
of.
I should still keep talking?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So my very first job in the ER was where I had my very first code, and I felt like I needed to be detached because I didn't want people looking at me like I was so concerned about what people thought, and I was like, oh, I don't
Mhm.
want them to be like, she's not ready to be an ER nurse, she's not prepared. So I kept on trying to shove it down and push it down, and then when I got home, because the patient didn't make it, um,
Mhm.
he came in critical condition, and when I got home, I just like it all weighed on me and I started questioning all of my decisions. I was like, do I need to be a nurse? Am I going to be able to keep doing this? But I just found ways to deal with it emotionally, like after each code. You know, I talked to my preceptor when it happened when I was training, and then
Mhm.
I spoke with my grandmother, who's my best friend. I just maintained my support system, and I don't want to say it got easier because losing a life is never something where you're like, well, um, but it
It
did. I
slows
became.
down.
Say that again.
It slows down.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like
The
like
weight is not as heavy
yes.
because I learned, I understand life, I understand the process, I understand illnesses, the disease processes. There is still a massive sadness component, but you have to learn how to appropriately emotionally deal with it.
And what's interesting is the difference between the codes in the hospital and in the nursing home. In a
Oh yeah,
nursing home, because they don't happen that much,
yeah,
everybody is rushing. In the hospital, the doctors don't even run.
no,
You
no,
know,
they don't.
it is just it's so task oriented that it almost alleviates all emotion. Whereas in the nursing, and first off, they don't generally know these people.
Yeah,
In a nursing home, you know these people. You've met their kids. It is a completely different component emotionally, and it just work. It's way more like discombobulated in a nursing home, and
yeah,
way more programmed in a hospital.
yeah. You're
So
absolutely.
so how do you, because I know people that you've had to have had patients that recognize you at this point.
Yes.
How do you
I've
deal with that?
I've actually had more nurses recognize me. And a few people on the street will just like shout story time across from wherever they are. And I think that it is the most adorable thing. I think that it is incredibly cute. Um, I've it's humbling, it's flattering. Um, I definitely don't see myself as famous, but I do believe that I've built a community,
Mhm.
and it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Is there a downside so far?
I feel like the only downside is social media, like trying to be consistent with it and stay on top of it because with building a community, yes, that's beautiful, that's nice, but if you're not like on social media constantly posting, they kind of push you out of the algorithm. And that to me is just not fair because I mean, realistically speaking, I don't always feel like posting, sometimes I just want to set my phone down and look at it in a couple days. But if I want to maintain that interaction and the relationship with my community and the fan base that I built, or I want people to remain like within a knowledge base of the stories that I write, and the products that I put out there, then I have to keep posting.
Does hubby ever say enough?
If I try to involve him in too much, yes, but he won't be like, you need to stop posting.
That's gotta be tough, because the urge is like, say you out at dinner, the urge, people always posting, oh, we're eating so and so, and it's like every moment is captured that maybe does just shouldn't be captured.
Not everything needs to be captured. No.
What makes you put your phone down and say fuck this?
Honestly, it doesn't take much. Like picking up the phone takes more effort, if I'm being honest with you. Like I'd be
Really?
okay once a week. The need to post consistently is really just to maintain a place in the algorithm so
Yeah.
that when I do tell, when I have a book out, or when I've written a new book of poetry, a new graphic novel, a new romance mystery, I don't have to reintroduce myself to the algorithm and start the promotion process all over again. I do love interacting with my fans. I do love the fan base that I've built. I love that. There are no regrets there. There's no sadness there. But I also love my family. I love being in the moment. I love being present with them. So it has gotten to a point where social media has turned into another job.
Okay, so is it do you call it a cartoon or is it animation? Um, what do you prefer?
I call it an animation. My grandmother calls it the Mickey Mouse or the cartoon. So, but it is an animated project that we're working on.
Where'd that come from?
Oh my God. So I absolutely love anime. I love animation. I love cartoons. I love Disney. I love it. I love it. And I feel like it's a peaceful, pleasant place that I go to. And because I absolutely love storytelling, I just put the two together and created my own story. The influence comes from the people that I love most: my grandmother, my brother, my husband, my mom. That's where all the character influence comes from. So it was born of my environment.
Okay, so how does a nurse just sit around and say, I want to make an animation? It just the two just don't seem to go together.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. But I did not always want to be a nurse. I did not always want to go into the medical field. I've always had a respect and a love for the medical field, for pregnancy, for birth, for life, because that's what I wanted to do in OBGYN.
Oh, that's
Um,
nasty work. That's horrible. I'm sorry.
it's a horse of a different color. But
So you've seen a birth, a baby being born.
yes,
And
yes.
oh, yo, that's one of the worst experiences of my life, and one of
Yeah.
the best experiences of my life to see my daughter. She came out in just a river of shit.
Yes.
It was so disgusting.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, once you're bearing down and you pushing, pressure is gonna come. Stuff is gonna come out. You're gonna pee a little. You're gonna
Well,
shit a little.
I didn't do any of those things during the pregnancy, so I don't know if my ex was like doing something wrong or I was the perfect pregnant person. Because none of that shit bothered me at all. I didn't gain any weight. I didn't pee. I didn't shit extra. I was perfect. It was her
Yeah.
that was the problem.
You should talk to her about that and see if she agrees.
Yeah, well, you know what? After 30 something years, yeah, I don't want to hear what she got to say. Just say. So is that your specialty, labor and delivery?
No, 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 not at all. That's just what I wanted to go into. Like I wanted to be an OBGYN when I started. And then
Mhm.
I said, that's going to take too long. Let me become a nurse. I just need to do something to pay my bills while I do what I want to do, which is
Okay.
write a book and, eventually write a script. And that's where I am now.
So how many books have you written?
So I've written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. I say and a half because I'm working on the second book to my romance mystery.
Oh, wait a minute,
So
you
two
got a room?
graphic
You got
novels.
okay.
Yes. It's called Confident Sensuality.
That sounds freaky.
It's sensual. I wouldn't say freaky, but it's a
Okay,
little freaky. It's a little, just a little.
right. Sensual is just like like rich people's freaky.
Yeah, it's classy freaky. Sure, sure. I respect it.
Okay. Okay. So the how do you start off the freakiness? Like the I'm sorry, the sensual novel. Like how do you get off? Like how do you develop the? And I don't want to. If you ever watch adult movies, not saying you, but the storyline is really non-existent. Nigga
No.
shows up at your door, knocks on the door. Oh, I'm delivering milk. Wink.
Yeah, facts, facts. Definitely not anything like that. There's definitely character development. I do want people to like the characters that they need to like and dislike the characters they need to dislike. There needs to be a developed story. So
Okay.
my story is it's more than just the freakiness. I want people to feel like the freakiness has been earned, like they didn't open up the first page of the book. And some people, don't get me wrong, they love that. They love opening up the first page and immediately there's a hot, steamy scene. That wasn't what I wanted to write. I wanted to
Mhm.
develop a story first. So mine is still a story. It's not like a porno in a book, even though some books are like that. And that's just what some people like. And some people are good at writing it. I love the storytelling component, as you can see. Um, so I tell a story and I get people to get to know the characters so that freaky scene, those freaky scenes are like they make sense. They fit.
Mm. What's the best thing about loving somebody?
You just asked me what's the best thing about loving someone?
Yes.
Honestly, it's just kind of like a freeing sort of release, like everything else in life has stipulations and yes, you still need to have boundaries with the people that you love, but it's different, like you see this person, you see their flaws, you see everything about them and you're like, I still want you here. I still want you to be a part of me. I want there to be an us. It's just like this release where you're like, nothing else that applies to everybody else applies to you. It's just different. And I love that and I accept it.
Yo, I've been divorced before, and obviously I've been married, but there's a willingness to want to to be able to give everything about yourself in love.
Yes.
That is just it's a necessity to love as close to perfection as you can,
Yeah.
but it's the scariest shit on the planet too.
Yes. Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right because you're giving 110% of yourself to someone, and there's absolutely no guarantee that they're going to care for it the way that it needs to be cared for. And then you got to pick yourself back up if it isn't done well because you're just falling into somebody else.
Yo, and that's some scary shit too, because people ain't shit.
You're right. That's absolutely correct. At
Okay.
the end of the day, you have to acknowledge, like, I love you, but you're not perfect, and
Oh my
you
god.
want them to be. But we aren't perfect. So there's that weird, like, in between where we're like, I want you to be perfect, but I want you to not expect me to be perfect. And not everybody's willing to accept that.
And you know the craziest part for me, you don't know a woman loves you until she farts in front of you.
That is a solid confirmation. You are absolutely correct. But some people really don't give a shit and they'll do it anyways. So
Yeah, but like if y'all on the first date and she farts, it's not so she's just nasty. I'm
yeah.
saying she got no, she
Yeah.
don't no. I won't say nasty. She has no decorum because I'm not farting in front of you on the first date. But when y'all sit in the bed, the first time she's like, and y'all laugh and y'all chuckle. When it stinks and you still love her, oh man, it's perfect. This is just, I'm sorry, I'm a nasty dude, but
think so. I think that there's a solid amount of facts in the statement that you just made.
yo, you make me feel just so welcome. Like, what is the biggest compliment that you receive on your story times?
Can you hear me?
Yes and no. You like stuck, but you're kind of going in and out. Oh, and I'm sorry.
What
I
do
know
I
we only
know?
got a half an hour, so scratch that that last comment, the last question. Cause can you hear me? Okay.
Yes. Scratch that last question.
Okay. So this is a question that I ask everybody that comes on the show. You're sitting on a park bench, and God sits down next to you, and
Hmm.
he or she says you can ask
Hmm.
them one question. What would it be?
That is a loaded question, and I have never thought about that. And I feel like I would typically need time to think this through. But I guess I'm going to tell you something, and then later it's going to be something different. I feel like what I'd want to know is, what does loving us unconditionally like feel like? What is that feeling? Because, growing up, you're taught that God loves you no matter what, no matter the mistake. And that's hard. That is hard.
And I don't
Like,
believe that.
oh, you don't.
No,
Okay. Okay. I hear you. I
your
respect it.
man's has destroyed the whole planet because he was pissed. That's
Well,
that's
yeah.
condition. Those are conditions.
Those are, well, I feel like those are more like, it's more of a, I had to do this. I had no other choice. And it's in my love for you that allowed me, that not allowed to allow God to do anything, but that has, led to this happening. You did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the constant decision of humans to make the wrong decision that has led to this. Um,
I got
but I
conditions,
can
bro.
see what you, yeah, I can see what you mean by like these conditions are like to stop, you need to stop being out here acting an ass. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's a gazillion examples in the Bible of God saying, "Look, you don't worship anybody but me. You start doing too much freaky shit, I'm gonna turn your whole shit into a pillar of salt. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I will
yeah, you're absolutely right.
make a man just get on the boat and say fuck the rest of y'all." God, yo, God has got some conditions for you, and
Yeah.
he should.
Then yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're
You
right. You
know,
are absolutely right. Because no conditions means no, like, no, nothing to work towards, nothing to work for, no morale, nothing. You could
yes,
just be out here doing whatever, no repercussions. No, you're right. You're right.
you know. Although the whole repent thing, I think was like a cheat code that I don't know that man deserved.
Well, I mean, realistically, we don't deserve it, but I think that it's just God saying, like, I'm merciful. So acknowledge where you've gone wrong and come through. Come talk to me. Let's figure this out. Let's help you stop. And then you keep doing it, then that's
Yeah,
another conversation.
yeah. Like I shouldn't be able to repent about the same shit 37 days in a row. It's not repenting then at that point. It's just like, I'm, I- I'm using your words against you type of shit. But anyway, if people want to get in touch with you, because I know we only got a half an hour, I know you got to get back to work. How do they go about doing that?
So my website is and it's the soul of my pen. So they can get to my website from my Instagram. They can get to my Instagram from my website. All of my socials from my website. So
Okay, because we didn't get
dirtywordsmith.com and
that part.
sorry.
Dirtywordsmith.com. We didn't get that the first time.
Yes, yes, that's my website.
Yo, you're just a really phenomenal individual. And if nobody has told you today, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
And I really wish we could have a longer conversation. Maybe, like not at work, but I understand. Hey, the light bill is not going to pay itself.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I did want to make sure that this happened because I would love to be on here. I would have loved to speak with you as long as we have just these opportunities. I feel like are amazing. But I just do my best to try to find like some sort of happy medium because I work so much. There's so many things I'm trying to make happen.
Well, you don't. You can only do so much.
I know. I know. You're right.
Take care of yourself, and the rest will fall into place.
You're absolutely right.
And if there's anything I can possibly do for you, please don't hesitate to let me know. And I got you. And hopefully we can get you back in a more stable environment for a good hour show because there's a lot of shit I got to ask.
I know. But I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Thank you. And
ready.
you have a phenomenal evening on purpose and enjoy the rest of your shift.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, no doubt. Peace. And you already know, man, this is Jobs. Has been another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio. One of the best podcasts in the history of the podcast game. I've been doing this for a long time. Anyway, shout out to Miss Paige. Shout out to Asia Holiday that came on at 5:00. And I will be back next week at the same times and with the same type of shit. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Peace.